Well, we're still in St. George, Utah for the Color Country Model Railroad Club's open house.
It's always fun to come here.
November every year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And it's always nice to get away from the land up north during November and come down here where the climate is so beautiful. It's out in the desert.
Right.
But nothing wrong with that. It's just beautiful out here. But mostly they have a great model railroad community here.
Right.
And it's growing all the time. Some really neat stuff going into. So first up, we're visiting the Garden Railroad of Ken Mickelson. And this hasn't been on the tour before.
Right, I don't recall coming here, so this is all new.
We talked to him and he said, no, he's been working on it for some years. He just didn't feel that it was ready to be open to the public. But this year he's changed his mind.
Down here, if you're either in the green zone, and you can go through all of them.
So this is your first show?
This is my first show. I've had it up and operating for about 4.5 years, but kind of kept it to myself. But this year the club was having another open house, and I thought I'd open my house up to it. And so far this morning we've had quite a few visitors.
It's all diesels.
All diesels, yeah. I've got about 11 diesels, ranging from GP9 clear up to a Dash 9, and everything in between.
So that's your principal interest then, is that era and that kind of equipment?
Well, that's the era I grew up in. Steam locomotives were gone by the time I was a teenager, and so all my experience was, on diesel trains, and so I love diesels. I love steams, but I love trains, so.
Why do you think you love trains?
I don't know, it's just an interest I've had ever since I was probably his age, that 3-year-old. So, my parents knew it. We lived close to Union Pacific Main Line, and every time I could hear the whistle coming, I'd run up to the hill and watch the train go by, even though we were a couple blocks away. And so I just fascinated by trains.
It seems cellular. It's part of our DNA for
It
some
is.
reason.
I actually wanted to work for the railroad when I was young, but somewhere I got misdirected, ended up working for the phone company for 32 years. And then I got back into trains after I retired.
Now this is kind of fun. It's a 1/29th scale, more or less modern, standard gauge railroad.
Right.
A lot of garden railroads, like our own, of course, is a narrow gauge railroad with steam locomotives. And he's got a great system here for getting into his shop. And he can therefore just pull his trains in here. He doesn't have to take them off the track and put them away or do any of that sort of thing. Moreover, all of his turnouts are electrically controlled, and he's got these little stanchion control panels around, and so he can just walk over to one of these and throw a switch, and that makes getting the trains out and running them around so simple. Just great. What controller do you have here?
This is Rail Pro. I've got a couple controllers. All my locomotives are wired for Rail Pro. It's a good system. It works out well for me.
Is it battery or is it
I'm track powered, but they're all radio controlled.
so I fell in love with this. This is a sort of classically Union Pacific depot. It was built by one of the other club members, scratch built out of wood.
Yes, it's really neat.
It's just beautiful. And so Ken bought it from the other member, and now it's on his railroad. We mentioned before that they have quite a large club here.
Yes.
And the climate here is so conducive to garden railroading. This is quickly turning into one of the great garden railroading communities. Now here's another fun railroad that we've never seen before.
Right, it's another new one.
The layout is multiple people doing multiple things. So we had another club member lay the track for us, and then we had another member start us out with the electrical because we had no idea what 3 volts versus 20 volts is. And then my husband did the rest of the wiring, and then the rest is all dollar stuff and pieces of equipment from other club members, and the train is mine from 6 years old, long time ago, etc., etc. So the rest is all created by hand pretty much.
So you leave it set up all the time?
Yeah, just don't run it all the time. We run it on tours, or we play with it at night when it's lit up. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah,
So the inspiration was just you had this from when you were a kid and you want to set it back up?
I did, and I wanted to preserve Breckenridge, Colorado from 1990 when we first were there, and the ski area had just started to really take off. And it was a simpler time. There was one stoplight in town, so that's why this has one stoplight.
So a lot of people just really enjoy building a toy train layout.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. I enjoy them.
Well, it's sort of revisiting your childhood.
Absolutely.
So building a layout like this is as much collecting as it is building a railroad.
Oh, for sure.
And this mixture of having Lionel and HO, but all of it of a certain era.
Yes.
Just a fun collection.
Oh, that one is really fun.
As much as we enjoy coming to this train show, I think we enjoy just coming down here as much as that.
Yes, the scenery is just breathtaking. I could just stare at it forever.
And the entire community down here, this is a little area called Kayenta, and this is where we always like to stay.
Right, our home away from home.
There's a little inn here called the Crescent Moon Inn, and it's just fun. It's just beautiful.
Right, a good way to stop and think and relax, be zen.
Well, we still have several railroads to see,
Right.
and since garden railroading is so popular here, we also want to talk a little bit about the construction and design of a model railroad on the Tuesday show.
Right.
But this is one of the railroads, but we've got several more of these wonderful, wonderful garden railroads to look at here in the St. George area. And you wouldn't want to miss that. So if you're not a subscriber, please become a subscriber. And you can do that quite easily by clicking on the upcoming blue button. Zoink! Right there, the blue button. Well, we're not sure how you found this video on the internet. We hope you didn't find it boring, and we will see you here on Tuesday.
Right.
We'll see ya.
We'll see ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.